Hello. Um, I noticed the efficiency of the panels is still quite low, and I wonder what it was or what it is. I'm still in, but yeah, I thought, how the hell can magnepan get so much out of an SMGA, for instance? It's a quite efficient loudspeaker. I mean, I think it's 87 or something, which is very decent for a normal loudspeaker. And I think it's pretty good for a planar speaker using rubber magnets. For instance, the Timpani 1D uses two enormous panels to achieve only 84 dB. So, not sure what's happening, but something is different. Also, by the way, in the Timpani 1D, the two low-end panels, so the big ones, are in parallel. So each panel is 8 ohms, and together they are 4, of course. But still, 84 dB. So I think it might be distance wire to magnets, could be one of them. So maybe they have a bigger spacing so they can reach lower. But I don't think it's only that. Also it might be able to put out more in the end, in terms of SPL. Although I doubt it, since it's 3 to 4 dB down already to the SMGA. So to make up for it, yeah, I'm not sure if that's is a win. So not sure what it is, but one thing I noticed is on the 1D they used this perforated metal as well. So it might be there might be something there, or they use maybe weaker magnets. The size is the same, by the way. Sorry, I had to take a sip. Here we have two panels. I first made this left one, and then I noticed the SPL was still a little bit low. So I thought, well, I got some magnets from magnepan still. Use the same spacing and see what it does. Of course, there's one difference, and that is these are wider, of course, than these are. But yeah, the only other magnets I got are like 8 millimeters wide, and they are again bigger than these. So I'm not sure, maybe I'll make a new panel with the 8 millimeter magnets as well and fill it up, and then put coil on it until I reach the same resistance, and then measure what it does. At least the magnets from magnepan are thinner as well, which is odd. They're like 2.2 millimeters thick, and my magnets are 3 millimeters thick. Yeah, but I even think that still the magnepans are louder, or at least stronger. So they might be using more ferrite into the rubber magnet. You can load a certain amount of ferrite versus polymer or rubber, whatever it is, and it looks like they got a higher grade than the magnets I got. They're also more flexible, mine, compared to the magnepan. But that's what we're gonna test. So essentially these should measure sort of the same to be able to compare them to one another. So this is the magnepan version, and it's around 4.8 ohms, and the one with my magnets are 4.6. Let's say it's 6. Okay, so tiny bit lower impedance. So if all was equal, then these should put out a little bit more than the other one, but 0.3 ohms is not gonna make much difference. I don't think I can even measure it SPL wise. One thing to look for as well is, and you will see it when we measure it, is the distance between the wires. Because magnepan here, or the magnepan magnet, is slightly wider than my small ones. Yeah, they probably have a peak. As you notice, maybe I had a peak around 12K or something, and I'm not sure always. And this one should peak earlier, like I don't know, 10K or something, I don't know, but earlier than the smaller magnets. That's the reason why magnepan uses these smaller magnets, which are on the side. I'll show you. The tweeter magnets are not as wide as the magnets used in the woofer panel, because here the peak is around 15K or something, and here it will be lower and not usable. Also, they used thicker magnets for the tweeter part to boost the efficiency. Although I never noticed any problems with not having enough high frequency. It's usually the other way around, so I'm not sure what's happening, but that's what I encountered. The panel here uses only small magnets, or at least not as wide. But in the end, it shouldn't matter really. Not much, I think. Because the amount of wire and the amount of magnet used is sort of almost the same. This one uses a little bit more, since here are more like gaps in between the magnets. But on the other hand, this one is 2.2 millimeters thick, and this one is 3 millimeters thick. So in the end, I think this one uses more magnet than this one. But yeah, I'm gonna measure them in the same setup and just compare them right away, so we can see what's happening, which one is more efficient. Also, this one uses a spacer of 4 millimeters, and if you subtract the 3 millimeters of magnet from it, you get 1 millimeter of motion, maximum motion. This one is a 3.2 millimeters wood spacer, and the magnets are 2.2. So again, 1 millimeter, so both equal. The tweeter part I disabled because it's not fair, because these tweeters are closer to the wire than over here. So this tweeter part and this tweeter part is not gonna play along in this test. Just to be equal. It's never gonna be completely equal, because these magnets are in a different width and also a different thickness. So, but I think we still can compare them pretty well. I just thought of something. I talked about the amount of magnet used, and I thought we can we can weigh it, and yeah, that would be nice. So, because the metal is the same, the size of the spacers are the same, the only thing is that the spacer of the one with the magnepan magnets is thinner. So thank God I got 2 of the spacers left, so I can balance it. And why is this not 0? Oh shit, that's a timer. Oh god, I've had this before. No, I don't want to set it. Just reset it. Since I have no clue how the scale works, apparently. Okay, so it's 0. So this is the magnepan version but it has to be accompanied by a spacer from the other version, and vice versa. Okay, 565. Yeah. So it's not much, but this one with the thinner slices of magnet still uses 30 grams more magnet, which in the end is, I don't think, very much. I mean, if you look at the complete half a kilo, I don't think it's that much of a difference. So magnet-wise, they are pretty much the same in the amount of magnets used, although even the one I suspect it has a lower efficiency uses less than the other. So we will see. Another thing I want to test after this one is what happens if we put them here. Now, if we get some metal from magnepan. This is a completely screwed over SMGA. And the thing is, you got loads of metal here. You got pretty much metal where the magnets are sitting on, and it might be that it also increases the field much better than a perforated metal plate, which has like a open area of 40%. So if you look at it, you can see where the magnet touches the metal is also, it's only 60% of the metal touching the magnets, because the 40% is open area, as stated in the receipt of the metal I bought. So it could be that, yeah, of course they did this for a reason, I mean, that's for sure, but maybe that's the reason. Other reason could be that they have more open area in between the magnets because they use all these tiny holes, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I think it's a field thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut out this piece. It's the same size as the other panels, and then I'm gonna use the same amount of magnets as I used in the test version with magnepan magnets, and then I'm gonna lay down the wires and we're gonna test them as well and see what this kind of metal plate does compared to perforated metal. One thing to notice is the Timpani 1D used perf metal, the same as I use now, this stuff, probably because it's an older panel, but the newer panels, all newer panels use this kind of metal. And they probably custom perforated this somewhere, which is hard to get, or probably impossible to get. At least maybe you have to, well, custom made it, and it's gonna be expensive. But yeah, we'll see what it does. So I'm gonna cut this with a grinder, then remove this wood, and then attach an empty frame. Not this one, because this is the 4mm, but I'm gonna attach the 3.2mm frame with Mylar, of course, and then put the same amount of wires on as the other test panel, and then we should be able to compare them. Because there are so many questions all the time, and I thought, well, let's test them out before I, at least, spend any more time fucking around with shit that isn't working as I wanted.